Welcome to Moving Business Forward. I am your host, Roman Gaida. With me today is John Carroll, Chief Credit Risk Officer of ENGS Commercial Finance.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hello, John. So what are the benefits to ENGS customers and to our partners that work with ENGS from this kind of modeling?
Well, as I mentioned, ENGS has been around a long time. And so we've got all this data. We've been able to do all this modeling, and thus we're able to accurately identify the risk of these industries, the risk of the customers in these industries, the risk of the equipment in these industries. And like I talked about in that risk modeling, the better that you're able to identify that risk, that actually is great for the customers. It means that for your best customers, you can give them the best rates, you can give them the best structures.
Okay.
It's great for our vendor partners because we've been around a long time. We've stayed within these industries through the good times and through the bad times. If you interview some of our vendor partners who've been with us for 6, 7, 10 years, they can speak to the fact that ENGS has never pulled back from these markets that we're serving. We're able to live through even the rougher times. Certainly the transportation market went through a bit of a rough patch in 2017. We were still there. More recently, we went through COVID, and that was a very a time when nobody knew what was going to happen back in March and April of 2020. We stayed in those industries. We were able to continue to finance our vendor partners in those industries, finance our customers. All of that experience has enabled us to have that long-term and to give our partners and our customers confidence that we're going to be here for the long term.
So the longevity is important. Now that these markets are hot, you've got other lenders that may jump into the market, but what's the differentiation then with ENGS there?
Yeah, so what we've often seen is, during a good economy, a hot market, we do see lenders get into a market, think that they can have a good business case in this market, and then the market turns on them, and suddenly they realize that they have miscalculated the market. They've mispriced the transactions. They haven't protected themselves appropriately. They've booked the wrong type of transactions. They didn't realize what the long-term risk of these transactions were. And so they then have a portfolio that's not performing, and they have to get out of that market entirely. And that really has not been the history with ENGS. We have served the transportation market for 65, 70 years. We've been serving the industrial market for a very long time as well. Same thing with construction. We've been in these markets. We understand the equipment. We understand the customers. We understand the volatility. We understand the business cycles. We know how to underwrite in these markets. We're going to be here for a long time.
Great. So how does the growth and diversification impact ENGS' portfolio?
ENGS is a highly diversified portfolio. And diversification is one of those buzzwords that risk managers talk about a lot. The importance of diversification is ensuring that one or two accounts aren't able to impact your portfolio negatively. Even your absolute lowest risk accounts still have a potential for a default. Even Apple Computer, one of the highest rated companies out there, this still has a potential that it could default at some point. And so a risk manager always wants to ensure that their portfolio is diversified enough that no individual account or individual groups of accounts, if they default, however unlikely that could be, could impact the portfolio enough to cause a major issue. ENGS is a highly diversified portfolio. It's something that we're very proud of. We have worked over the last 10 years really to ensure that we are diversified, and not just diversified within any individual customer, but also diversified across industries, diversified across asset classes. Again, making sure that we're here for the long run. And as long as we're talking about being here for the long run, again, one of the things that I'm most proud of as a risk manager is the changes that we've made to how we do risk management at ENGS. And we really have made a concerted effort to do all that modeling and all that risk analysis to identify the tranches of the portfolio, the segments of the customer's base, which we have not been underwriting and managing in the best way possible, and to change the way that we're managing those. So we've done a lot of analysis. We've gotten out of certain segments that just aren't profitable for us, that just don't make sense. And then we've changed the way that we underwrite other segments. We've changed the types of equipment that we're willing to underwrite. Even for a given customer, you may have differences in performances depending on if they're financing this type of equipment versus this type of equipment. This type of equipment may be more unreliable, may default more. And so for certain tranches of the customers, we're willing to approve them for one type of equipment, but not for another type of equipment.
Right.
For other customers who are lower risk, we're willing to approve you for any type of equipment that you want to finance.
Understood.
So really, the change we've made to the portfolio over the last 6 years really has paid incredible dividends. The portfolio is in its best situation that we've ever had it in. We really have very strong and bright hopes for the future.
Great. Well, thank you very much. This has been a discussion with John Carroll, Chief Risk Officer at ENGS Commercial Finance.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.